Also, there's a poster that has identifying all of the inspection procedures. The first one is the disinfection of the luggage, and the second one is the verification of the ID. So the students have to show the Wuhan University pass or the student ID card. And the third step is that the student have to show the health code, and also he need to take body temperature test. And later on, he's about to enter into the dormitory. And also on the poster, you could see saying that we welcome you to go back to Luojiashan, and welcome all the students to come back home in the Wuhan University. And before the students going back to the university, actually, the university have sent out some notifications. So for all of these students have to meet 14 requirements. These students have to stay healthy in the past 14 days. They do not have any symptoms of coughing, fever, etc. or respiratory disease. And also these students did not have any contact with confirmed patients or suspected patients. And also in the past 14 days, these students do not have any overseas travel. And the fourth point is that these students should not have any contact with people who arrive in Wuhan from overseas destination. And the fifth requirement is that these students should not visit any places which are identified as mid and high risks. For the students have to meet all of these 6 requirements before they go back to school. And before they go back to school, they have to receive nucleic acid test and the antibody test. So did you conduct the antibody test and the nucleic acid test? Yes, I do. So when did you take all of those tests? I took all of these tests on June the 5th. So you also provide all of this information to the working staff? Right. Actually, for Wuhan University, we have an application. We have to upload all of our testing results. Can you show us your report? So as Mr. Zhao just said, all of the students, they have to upload their testing results to the application. And all the students have to upload their health conditions onto the application. And these students have to apply for a green code in Hubei province. And also these people have to file an application to return to school on this app. So now you could see from the screen, he actually completes all the procedures for back to school. So for example, she already completed the nucleic acid test and the antibody test. And also he offered the travel history in the past 14 days. So if this item shows green, meaning that the student did not visit any overseas destinations or other places in the past 14 days. And you talk about the antibody test and the NAT test, so who pays for you? So actually we pay first, and later on the Wuhan University will reimburse this amount. And for some students, maybe they have not yet taken the nucleic acid test and antibody testing. So in this area, actually, we have a designated place who can run NAT and antibody tests to those students who haven't taken any of those testing. Let's take a look. So in these areas, it is actually a designated area for NAT and the antibody test. So here, some of the students are uploading some of their personal information to the university.
因为刚才我们了解到的赵胜浩同学，他可能是提前都已经做好了全部的一个
So
准备
for
工
Mr.
作。
Zhao, as far as we know, he already uploaded some of his information to the
看到一
application,
个学生正在这里填表
but，we're not sure what happens here.
刚才谈到了核酸检测啊，这个是学校的一个
We
硬
just
性的
talk about the
一
nucleic
个
acid
规定和
test.
要求。那
Actually,
如果
this is a
说
compulsory
学生到
requirement
校了之
from
后没有
Wuhan
做核酸检测，
University.
那我们现在做完核
If
酸
the
检测还要
students return
有
to
一段
school
时间是
but
等待
he
结
has
果
not
的
yet。taken
那
any
在核酸检
NAT,
测和抗
he
体
has to
检测结果
receive
出来
an
之前呢，
NAT
学生是
on
没有办
site.
法回到
And
宿
these
舍
students
的。
have to wait for the result
要入
before
住
they
学
go
校
back to the
安排的一
dormitory.
个集中隔离点来进行隔
And
离。
during this
那一
time,
旦他
these
的
students
核
will
酸
be
检测
sent
报告
to
出
a
来是没有
designated
问题的
place
时候，
for
然后才能正
quarantine.
常的入住宿舍。
If he or she have a negative test result, and these people can go back to their dormitory.
哎，您好，我们是央视新闻的记者，我们现在正在
Hello,
做
we
直
are
播，
from
就想问一下，这
CGTN.
个现
We are
场它是
actually
信息补
doing
录
a
的现
live
场，
streaming.
那是什么样的学生要在这里补录他的
I'm curious, like what kinds of information will be registered? So for some students, they're uploading their information about the NAT and the antibody testing, but some of the students, they may not receive some of the testing, so that we will help them to do the nucleic acid test. So we will check the QR code they have been uploaded to the application. If some of the information have not yet been uploaded, and these people have to do the nucleic acid test again. And we also need to check their personal information with our system. Because for some people, they may do some of the tests, and for some tests, they may not do it in the past. For some people, for example, if they run the NAT, but they're not running the antibody test, so can they go back to the dormitory? No. If these people have not yet conducted all the testings and they have to receive tests in these designated areas, and they have to wait for the final result before they return to a dormitory. And we also have doctors to monitor their health conditions and check their testing results.
看一下，那其实啊，在这个地方也是一样的，每个地方都是贴了有这种安全的这么一个间隔线。看到还是有部分学生没有做核酸检测。
And on the other side, it is the testing site. And I can see some students are waiting for the nucleic acid test or antibody test.
哎，同学。哎，同学，我想问一下，您是在这里等待做？
Excuse me, are you waiting for the nucleic acid test? Well, I'm actually waiting for the test result of the antibody test. So you did not do any antibody test when you were back home? Yes, because when I was at home, I can only do the nucleic acid test. So now I'm here, I'm waiting for the result for the antibody test. Thank you.
看到这位同学正在做。哎，你好，我们是央视新闻的记者，现在正在做直播。
Hello, we are from CCTV. We are doing a live streaming. So I have a question for you. For the students, they're coming here to receive the nucleic acid test and antibody test. So have you conducted any testing to the students? Yes. So what is the method? So we're actually collecting the blood sample for the students.
还没有学生来这里做，已经做完哦。刚才这位学生是刚刚做完。
Hello, you have just completed the antibody test, so you are waiting for the results, right? Yes. So I have a question for you. So for example, if the result shows positive, what will you do? If that is the case, we will report to the university, and then we will further analyze her sample, and we will run nucleic acid tests to her, and we will send her to a quarantine point. So what happens if she has a negative antibody test? Well, actually, we're doing the antibody test. So after she finished the antibody test, and we will generate a report, and then she will take that report to the medical school of the university, and then if she has that certificate, she's able to go back to the dormitory and go to the teaching building, dormitory, etc. So if he have a positive test, and then she is able to go back to the dormitory. If something is wrong, and we will send her to a quarantine point. So in this place is the counseling area, and the doctors will offer some advice and counseling to the students according to their test results. So this gentleman has not yet taken the antibody test. So he has to receive the antibody test in another areas. So in this area, are you trying to register some of the information of students who have not yet received any NAT and the antibody test? So we are actually an observation point. So we are checking on the health condition for students who have an abnormal body temperature. If their body temperature shows unusual, and then we will send them to a designated hospital to receive further tests. And for some of the students, if they have the test results available, and we will register their information, and these people will be sent to a green channel so that they're able to go back to the dormitory. So for this gentleman, so he has passed all of the tests, and then the counseling point will issue a certificate, so that if he can hold this kind of result, he is able to go to the canteens and go to the library and to the dormitory. So you could see this student used to run tests outside of the university, but we approve all of these test results. Thank you. As these two doctors just mentioned, if we found any fever patients or fever students, and these students will be sent to a designated hospital for further observation.
目前这一块还好啊，就是没有看到有这些上述症状的这些学生。
But right now, we don't see many students here.
测的现场目前那里是没有学生的，那学生也是做完抗体、做完核酸。
So on the other side, we can see not so many people are receiving nucleic acid test.
我们现在再折回去看一下，就是正常所有的该做的检查、该做的在该办的手续都办好之后的学生，那可能就是刚才要走到我们刚才。
So let's go back to the main entrance to see what happens to the students who have completed all the inspection procedures. So we can see a couple of students are coming back to this area because they have to receive the nucleic acid test on site. There are many universities in Wuhan City with a great number of students. So we have to make sure that each process can be done properly. But as far as we know, in Wuhan University, they have strictly controlled each step to make sure that there's no risks. Hello, we are from CCTV. We just want to understand some of the information he has been filling in. So actually, this student is filling in some of the basic information about his nucleic acid test result. So he has just completed the nucleic acid test. So on average, on 8 different time slots, we will issue the test result. So we'll issue the results in the morning and in the afternoon. So right now you have just completed the nucleic acid test, so you're not able to go back to the dormitory. So what's the arrangement from the Wuhan University? So I have to go to a temporary quarantine site. So we can go to the quarantine site on my own. So actually we are doing a throat swab. So is it okay if we follow you to the quarantine site? Actually right now I'm not sure where I should go. I have to ask some of the working staff. So for the medics just told us that they will issue the test results in the morning and in the afternoon. By doing that, all of these students can go back to their dormitory as soon as possible.
各位网友，我是央视新闻的记者金珠。
Dear viewers, this is from CCTV live streaming. Now we are at the west gate of Wuhan University. So we are bringing you the live streaming about the first batch of the graduating students returning to school. So we have just followed one of the students, Mr. Zhao, and he completed all the inspection procedures and he's able to go back to the university. And in this area, some people are not yet receive the nucleic acid test. So this group of students have to receive the test on site.
我们核酸检测的过程，因为我们自己也都是接受过核酸检测和抗原检测的，它这个采样咽拭子确实会引起喉咙的不适，是有一种。
Actually, it is not that comfortable to receive the nucleic acid test because they're collecting the sample through the throat swab. 要稍微忍一下，做的时候可能会觉得喉咙有点不适，有点想干呕的感觉，但是要稍微忍耐一点。 It is not that comfortable, but just a few seconds.
看到了，医生把这个采样的这个结果就放在一个冰冻的一个箱子里，冷冻的一个箱子里。好，想问一下，你们3位同学是一起是吗？那接下来你们将会去哪呢？是在这里。
So where are you going next? Are you going to stay here or are you waiting for someone to pick you up? There should be an instructor and bring us to a designated area. I think we will be going to a designated areas and wait for the test results. Do you need to show any certificate or proof in order to go to that designated area? Well, actually, we have a test report. Maybe they're not familiar with the process. 学生去问了，我们去看一下，因为目前这几位学生可能还不是很清楚，他们接下来该怎么去。It feels like the students don't know what to do next. So these students have to go to a designated area and to wait for the results. So at the earliest point, they can receive the test result in the evening. So actually there's a van parking over there, and for that van, it will bring all of those students to a quarantine site. So they will take this receipt with them and then they will go to a designated areas and wait for the test result. So they will take all of those receipts. So for this van, it will take all of those students to a designated areas for quarantine. We'll wait for 4 students. Actually, the capacity of the van is 11 persons, but this time only 4 or 5 people can board on this van. So after they complete the nucleic acid test, these people will be sent to a designated area and wait for the results. A van will bring all of these students to the quarantine site. So let's go back to another areas to see whether there are any more checking procedures or inspection procedures. So we will go back to the green channel. I believe for the graduating students in 2020, they may feel a bit different compared to the graduating students in other years. On one hand, they may be looking forward to the graduation. On the other hand, they may have a mixed feeling. All right, let's move on. So this is the green channel. If you complete all of the inspection procedures and then you are able to go through this green channel. And once again, here is a body temperature checkpoint. So in this area, students are waiting here for the shuttle bus to bring them to the faculties. I can see there's a large poster here, and they are welcoming all of the students going back to Luojiashan, and actually they're saying welcome home to Wuhan University. Also, we see there is a boarding procedures. First of all, the students have to scan the code and show valid IDs. And when they're getting off the vehicle, they also have to scan a QR code to show the health code. So I believe there is a limit for number of passengers on each one of the vehicles. So for this one is actually the waiting area for the Faculty of Economic and Commerce Department. So I will have a quick interview with the driver. Hello. I would like to ask a few questions. So you are the driver for this shuttle bus. So I want to ask, how many people can get on the bus? Well, less than 10. So if we have 10 students on the bus, and then we will depart. So the waiting time is no more than 10 minutes. So what information do you have to check for all of those students? Well, for the students, they have to scan the QR code before they get on and get off the bus. Thank you.
好，那我们趁这个在等车的这个间隙，来，我们到阴凉的地方来问一下这个赵胜浩同学啊，因为我了解到。So
Mr. Zhao, I understand you're coming from Henan province. You are actually a graduating student in 2020. So I think this year is extraordinary, and it's quite different compared to the graduation from last year's. So actually, I have a mixed feeling. And on one hand, I feel very excited that finally I can return to school. Because if I graduating online, maybe it is a lack of ceremony. But once again, I think we are facing some of the challenges, especially in employment. We're not sure if I can get a good job after graduation. Do you have confidence in yourself? Will this global pandemic will have an impact on your value? Yes. So right from the beginning, I understand that in China we have very good epidemic prevention and control. However, the global pandemic is still accelerating. So it actually demonstrating that China has a very sound institutional advantage. I already participated in a lot of projects. And I hope by taking all of these projects, I can get a good job in the future. And as this year is quite unusual, and Wuhan University may organize an online graduation ceremony for all of those students. So actually that comes to the end of this live streaming. Thank you for watching.